A darkened alleyway in some grave metropolis, shadowed by the lingering stench of malice lurking behind every crevice and corner. High, perched out of sight, stands a vigilante, eagerly surveying the roving antics of the night below, patiently waiting for a pestilent fool or bumbling marauder to stumble in his path. He waits. Carefully choreographing his descent to the doom plotter's depth-wise, he takes a beat, breathes, and sends his gaze heavenward, as if to call upon divine intervention. And in a flash he descends. Menacing in his flight, he falls gracefully, quicker than his body's obedience to gravity. He races through the air before it can even recognize his presence. There, tumbling to the awaiting ground, and evildoers haplessly shriek and skitter shivers in their vertebrae at his arrival, and BAM! Just like that, he lands. A little off, connecting at a 65-degree angle, shoulder first to the homemade padding of couch cushions strategically placed on the aging carpet of my grandmother's floor. This is my nephew, and currently he's sprawled on his makeshift safety net, wearing a smile of content at his latest accomplishment of superhuman aerodynamic mastery. See, to him, jumping from the battered armrest of my grandmother's couch is the same as Spider-Man leaping from the observatory deck of the Empire State Building to 34th Street below, only to be saved by a quick shot of web to a nearby street lamp. See, he exists in between two realities. While we adults are quick to disregard his childhood fallacy, he sees as an actuality. Buses are transformers, the garbage truck is a waste-guzzling, growling monster. The sun is God's fleshlight, stars of supernatural glitter, and his red and white Spider-Man pajamas have superpowers. And I hope that he never loses that. That childlike innocence, that wide-eyed utopia, that blind faith that allows him to tackle questions like, what do you want to be when you grow up? With an answer like, I want to be Bat Police Dr. Man, which I can only assume is some sort of medical practitioner that caters to bats and other nocturnal creatures while wearing a cape and driving the Batmobile to the office. Damn, I hope he never loses his will to believe in the undefinable. If there isn't a word for things, I hope he creates it. If there's a blockade in his path, I hope he breaks him. If there's a person spewing cant in his direction, I hope he asks, why can't I? I hope he never stops trying to see things beyond his immediate peripherals or trying to build things without tools, because living in the midst of multiple dimensions, seeing the unthought of is real is exactly how Calvin was able to see Hobbes. See, what was a stuffed security blanket to the naked eye was actually a full-grown jungle cat, capable of playing hide and seek, helping Calvin protect the galaxy from aliens, and of course building snowman. See, to most of us, Hobbes is a conundrum, an imaginary companion we left in youth with the Play-Doh and crayons. We fail to see him in our existence in this dismissive state of being in realism, the unfortunate byproduct of age. See, we believe in the sun only because it progresses the days. But if we didn't have it, would we be able to fathom it? Would we be able to think of something that could swallow the darkness and cast the shade? We're so quick to jump in paradoxes of boxes inside the boxes. No one ever tries to outfox them or dismantle the boxes altogether and build cylinders and try to think outside of them. Meanwhile, our kids are tying bed sheets around their necks, standing on our kitchen tables and calling themselves Superman. They're building skyscrapers to heaven with Lego blocks and rediscovering the lost city of Atlantis under rubber ducks and bubbles floating in bathtubs. See, that's the problem some of us have with growing up. We lose the ability to see Hobbes, all because someone told us that having an imaginary friend was stupid, or that wanting to be an astrophysicist spaceman is foolish, or that nothing ever amounts to hours of doodling in margin lines right on them, not in between them. Be realistic, they said. Be realistic. Find a job, find a wife, find your husband, find your life carefully molded into right angles of partisan star-spangled rights. Make sure not to ruffle any feathers, sign on dotted lines. I dare someone to say that to my nephew. I dare someone to dash every hope stored in his progressing 3-year-old brain. He already lives on an island that isn't big enough to hold his imagination, so everything else is another geographical constraint. I dare someone to say that to Calvin, to tell him that Hobbes doesn't exist, that he can't talk, that he doesn't come to life, that he's just a stuffed animal, stuffed in a Saturday newspaper panel under the movie listings for the night. Tell him to grow up, to lose the toddler goggles of perception, to put old things away. I refuse to. And I will continue to watch my nephew with pride when he's climbing Everest, when it's really the kitchen countertop, seeing Hobbes, when he's pretending to be King Triton in the bathtub, seeing Hobbes, when he's rescuing me from the Brussels sprout monster on my plate, seeing Hobbes. Then he's jumping from the couch armrest, slinging web, testing fate.